Hi, everybody.
Hi, you guys. Nice to see you.
I am Betsy Kreider with Be Creative Stamping. I am located in central Pennsylvania.
And I'm Mary Ellen Stites, and my business is Create With Me, and I am in East Central Illinois.
There you go.
So,
We are coming to you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, or maybe, presenting our Stamp It Your Way for the month. This is actually November's, but we're running a little late. Holidays and all that happy stuff. You know how that works. So we're bringing you our November Stamp It Your Way projects.
yeah, they're fun. I
Mhm.
think they're all beautiful. I mean, everyone who's seen them here in my classrooms love them. So
Exactly. Featuring the it's the Traditions of Christmas suite out of the holiday catalog.
yes, and
And
then
then we are featuring specifically the Christmas Greenery bundle, and I'll show it to you, and the
yeah,
traditional labels
yeah,
bundle as well, which I have those all here in front
yeah.
of me.
Okay, I'm putting mine
Mhm.
away because I forgot you
There
were
you go.
going first. So yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I have them. I have them. Just a side note, though, just before we get started, you should be, if you haven't already gotten the spring catalog. That's this little guy right here is the spring one. If you don't have one of these yet, you can reach out to either one of us, and we'd be happy to get you a spring catalog. This starts as of January 6th. This
Yeah.
goes live January 6th and runs through till May 4th of 2026.
Oh, it
Hard to
goes
believe
through. Good. Yeah.
2026 is coming.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah.
know. Crazy.
Exactly. All right, we ready to get started? Jumping right in.
Yes, I'm ready.
So Traditions of Christmas actually is a double. What do they call it? Like a double suite, a double bundle suite, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, it has the two bundles. So it's got the Christmas Greenery, which is kind of what we featured on these cards, but we're also using the traditional labels bundle because that's the one that has all the words. So this has all like the nice, pretty images, and then this has the words, and then the dies that match, and then of course, the label dies. Which I've been using these with other things too. Like all my cards, I've been using these labels.
Oh,
They're really
yeah.
nice. Just
That's a great label set. I love it.
it is. It's definitely a keeper. It's just got some nice detail to it as well. So that's what we're using. I don't have a ton of the paper here. You'll see a lot of the paper when we do our cards, but I do have one of the papers here because one of the cards that I'm using, I wanted to show you how the dies match up with what's in the images, or the image of the paper, right? So when I see here, if I can figure out which way that goes, I think it's this way. There it goes. So you see how that lines right up? Can you see that very well?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
You see it? So
It's
it
nice
lines
when it
up
dies. Yeah.
on the paper, and we'll cut that out. So there's quite a few images in the paper, in the designer paper, that the dies will actually line up and cut out. And I did this for one of my cards. So you're going to want to die cut one of these pieces for the card that we're going to be doing. So we'll actually
Show
do that
show that
card.
paper. Show that paper again, and I'm going to say something about my
Yep.
card. So when I did my card, I had cut all those pieces out for other projects I was doing
Mm-hmm.
here in my classroom, and I was left with all those little red. There's like a single red flower with greenery, and
This
some
one.
have one. Yeah, I fussy cut all the rest of those out because that's all that's really left. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
using that on my one of my cards. So
Oh,
nothing
that's a
went to
great
waste,
idea.
like nothing. That whole
Yeah.
page I got used like every little. I love that. Like lots and
There's
lots.
so many of them, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. And some of
there's
them
a
are like,
lot.
this is all pinks. This one has like a little shot of blue in it, like the little pool
Hmm.
party color. This paper is very pretty. It's got your greens, your reds, but it also has that
Gold.
secrecy pool party.
Yeah.
It's got some really nice shades in it, and it's got the gold tone as well,
Yeah.
right? So it's a
Yeah.
specialty paper. So you see the shiny gold as well.
Right.
All right.
I just wanted to
So
point that out while you had that because I don't have that in front of me. So that's where my little
what?
flowers come from.
I'm glad you did. All right, so this will be my first card that I'm doing. And you can see it's using, again, some of that designer paper. This is like the poinsettia, and again, it's got that gold shimmer to it. So this is my card. It's using Real Red as the card base. I've got some designer series paper. I've already pre-die cut that piece I was just showing you. I'm also using, I'm in love with this die set, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, which is the Just a Note dies. I think it's one of my favorite all-time die sets. It's just fun, and I love this little paper clip. So we use some gold foil paper to cut some of those. We've got some white here, and then again some Secret C. So I'm going to fold my card base here and put this piece on my front, just the standard card base. If you are interested in any of our tutorials for Stamp It Your Way, we do have them available on our PayHip store. So you can go back and get past tutorials that we have available for projects that we've made, or that you want to see how, like all the measurements, things like that. So there are tutorials available.
You can find the link to that in our video description too. So
exactly. All right, so I'm going to put these together. They kind of go a little cockeyed, so you can see like one is just kind of sticking out behind the other. I believe they're the exact same size, so I don't want to layer them together. If you were doing it at home, you could maybe make it so that that was just a little bit bigger and have it be truly flush, if that works better for you. But I'm just going to kind of put them a little cockeyed. So I'm going to put this one down first.
I'm not usually a cockeyed person, but I looked at this card earlier and I thought, no, I like this. I like, because I feel like the floral piece kind of grounds it.
The floral's very busy, right?
Yeah.
The floral is very busy, so this kind of breaks up that floral a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put my little paper clip on. I can put my paper clip on there, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the back of that just to kind of help hold it in place. And that's going to go right there. This card goes together pretty quickly. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. There we go. So there's that piece, and then I already did the die cutting to get this piece that is from the designer series paper. So there is a stamp for this, which is this one, and you could stamp it, and you also have the pieces that will stamp inside the stamp. So if you want to color this, like this one is more of a pink tone, this one has more of the red, you could stamp that using this piece. There's the flower that stamps inside these flowers. This one stamps inside that one. The little leaf stamps inside the leaf. So everything that you do here, you don't necessarily have to color it. You could use the stamps to color that in, right?
Yeah.
Or you can be somewhat lazy like me and just use the designer series paper.
Well, if you're still working on your Christmas cards and you use all those little swags on your DSP, you've got other options. So if you need, let's say you need 50 Christmas cards and you're still working on them, then you can stamp them. The other ones you can just stamp and die cut.
Exactly. We gave a piece of basic white, and that basic white is just used to die cut this banner, right? So I'm going to die cut that banner. And I realized my light is on. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Better. I'm going to get rid of that light. And then so I have my banner, and I'm going to stamp Season's Greetings. And there are a couple of stamps that kind of fit within the banner. So it's like this is position Sending Love and Joy. They're meant to go inside that because you can kind of see how they're already curved and ready to go. I'm going to use Real Red. Use my Season's Greetings. And so I think I did that backwards, but I think it'll work. There it goes. I think I meant to go this way. I think I meant to go that way.
It looks fine.
It looks fine.
No one will know.
It'll be fine. I think it was meant to go the other way.
What's that commercial? They'll never know.
They'll
No,
never
no,
know.
no.
It's a handmade gift, a card.
Yeah.
It'll never know. All right, so I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this. Pop this up on the front, like that. Perfect. And then for the inside and my envelope, what I did was I took the little flower and I just kind of stamped the background flower here on my inside. My ink pad is extremely juicy, so it is very solid. I'm going to actually stamp off this time and just stamp it a little lighter. There, you might get a little bit of more detail if I do that. And then I have my old olive, just to kind of add a couple greens around it. Kind of like that. This card's pretty quick and pretty easy. Add my inside. And Secret Sea being one of my favorite colors. Absolutely love it with real red. Adding in here. And then the last thing I have are the traditional sparkling sequins. That's these guys right here. They're actually a little bit more popular than I thought they would be. When I first saw them, I was like, oh, they're kind of like, ugh. But
You know
now,
what? No,
look at, look at my sheet. They're almost all gone.
I think what it is, honestly, is because they're flat. My customers have loved them because sometimes we've talked about this before. I'll have gems and they'll go, no, thank you. I don't like it because it ruins the envelope or it tears through when I mail it. Yep. And I say, oh no, these are flat. And they're like, bring them on. So
yep. They like it whenever it's like, it's so much easier. I used the stars on my Christmas class the other day. I used the foam stars and everybody was like, oh, I was expecting these to be really hard. And I'm like, nope, they are foamy and wonderful to use because they just fit. And we did the white ones on a Christmas card. They look really good. So there is my first card. Look how easy that was.
Yeah, that was good.
Right? Quick and easy. So there is card number 1. Card number 2 is also another one that's pretty easy to do. I just like this one because it had a little bit of a different fold. So it kind of opens like this.
I like it.
And then what I did on the inside, if you can see it, I did almost like a watermark kind of look. So I stamped it, but it's in a really light stamped off crumb cake. And I did it on the envelope. I really like this on the envelope.
That's pretty.
Isn't that pretty on the envelope?
Yeah, so, it's really pretty.
So this one is, again, got a bunch of little pieces here. Designer series. I've got my my base. But what I want to do here on this one is I'm going to score this. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer here real quick. And I'm going to score this at 1.5. So I'm going to come in and do 1.5 and score. And then 5 3/4 and score. Is that right? Well, we're about to find out. We're about to find out if that's right. 1.5 and 5 3/4. I think that is right because what's going to happen is that these are going to fold in, and they meet right there in the middle. They're right off center. You see it?
Perfect.
Right? So 1.5 and 5 3/4 are your score marks. This designer paper is going to go, and I think I have like 4 or 5 packs of this paper, and this paper is used in every single pack. This one was my favorite pattern, I think, out of the whole kit.
I love anything that's check and plaid or
right.
I love it. Gingham,
Yeah, it's too pretty. So I'm going to put this one on that open flap there. And then
that one's pretty too, though.
It is, right? I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of them.
I know that was a paper at first. I was like, but I've really fallen in love with it.
Yeah. The poinsettia look is, it's very pretty. And so I like the contrast of those two together.
I do too.
Now I did we included some paper in your packet. Mine, of course, I've already printed pre-die cut. So there's this die that is, excuse me, is the green. So there's this guy right here that's going to cut those greens. I did some holly in the pool, in the secret sea. So those are the holly little leaves right there. I also did some berries, and I did like, what are the blue ones? So juniper, is it juniper?
Juniper berries. Yeah. Yep.
Juniper's blueberries, right?
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I did some little blueberries instead of, I think the paper, it's pink. You could do red if you wanted to. I just kind of like the blue.
Shoot, you could use the sparkle gems even.
Correct. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
So blue, there's like a blue in there. That would be pretty too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I did the blue, and then the last one I did was this, again with the gold. I did the bow. Now the bow, I wanted to point out, is like one die, but this is how it cuts. So you'll get the 3 different pieces in the one die cut. All right. So it'll cut out this top. It'll cut up your little flags coming off the end, and then it'll also cut this little tiny center right there. Okay, so to put this together, all I did was add like a little bit of glue right here. So right at the tip, right there in the center, I added a little bit of glue, and I put my bow topper down on top of that like that, and I just kind of let that set. And then the same way here is I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in the center. Not a lot. You could use a glue dot, but I'm just going to use a little glue, and then I'm going to let that set aside for a second before I put that on, just so it kind of tackies up a little bit. And then I'm going to poke out all these extra little pieces. I think there's a little piece in this berry. There we go. All right, these are all going to go in the front, and I'm going to use one of these tags. And on this tag, I want to stamp Merry and Bright. And I'm going to bring in the real red again. While I do that, I want to put this on. I'm going to pick up my Take Your Pick tool and put the center of my bow right there. See it? Isn't it pretty?
It is really pretty. The detail too.
Pretty.
Yeah.
It is, right? It's got all the embossing in there as well, and it's really shows on that gold, that gold foil paper.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Merry and Bright on here. So I'm going to, Merry is by itself, and then Bright. Now you could put them on the same block, but I'm going to do them separate here. So I'm going to do and Bright first. And then I'm going to do Merry above it.
So off to the right.
Yes, I did it off to the right because all the greenery and stuff's going to go over onto the left. So there's my Merry and Bright. And I'm going to put this on my card front. But when I put it on the card front, I only want to adhere on this side because I want it to be able to lift, right? So I'm going to put it on this side. And I'm going to actually use some dimensionals only on this side. So I'm going to do 4. I'm going to add them, so nothing on the other side. And I'm going to put this on. It's going to be, you can kind of center it on the card on where it's going to go. And that way then it kind of opens and it's not stuck on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to sort of build what I'm doing here. I'm going to bring in that block to hold that down for me. I want to build this. So this is going to go on this side, but it's a little longer than what I need it to be. So I'm going to trim off a little bit of the bottom of this greenery. So I'm just going to kind of still give it like a little point there. I'm just going to cut off part of the edge of that. There it went. So cutting off maybe about what? About an inch of it off the bottom. You can always decide how much you need to cut off once you go to adhere it. So I'm going to put this down first, and I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue behind it. You don't need a lot because remember, everything else is going to help try to hold it in place as well. So I'm going to put my greens there. I'm going to bring in my holly leaves, and I'm going to add those as well. I'm going to do, actually, let me bring that up a little bit. Put one here so that it kind of wraps around where the Mary and the Bride are. Put one here. And then I'm going to add the little berries. And I'm just going to put the glue right directly onto my card because it'll be a little easier to pick those guys up if I do it that way. So I'm going to do one going that way. And then one beside it. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do one that just kind of overlaps them. So it looks like those three berries are kind of connected. There, you see it?
Yeah, looks good.
And then the last part's going to be the bow. And that's going to go right there. So I do have a little bit more green there that's kind of hanging. So I'm just going to bring my scissors in, kind of trim that off a little bit, just to get rid of it. Add some adhesive to the back of my bow. Add that where I want it to go. And then the last thing I did here was I thought, well, those berries need to have a little bit of shine on them. So I'm going to take some Wink of Stella, and I just brushed over top of the berries themselves. Just to give the berries a little bit more shine. Okay?
Cute.
It's cute, right? This one I didn't actually use any gems on because I thought it was kind of busy enough. I didn't really think it needed it. Now for the inside in the envelope, I did bring in this large stamp. And anytime your block is bigger than your ink pad, right? Or the stamp is bigger than your ink pad, it's easier to ink it if this stays on the table and you pick your ink pad up and go down. It's easier to ink it this way by moving the stamp around or the ink pad around than trying to get that stamp to do this. Right? I think it's easier the other way around. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, easier to do it that way, I think. Okay, so I'm going to open this up and I'm going to stamp my image. I'm going to go this way with it. On my flap of my envelope. Definitely make sure, if you don't have a glass mat, make sure that you have a Stampin' mat underneath you with this one because you'll get a better image if you do. So there's my envelope. Well, while I have this, I'm just going to stamp off again. Actually, I'm going to ink that. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to ink that. I'm going to stamp that off on a piece of scratch paper. And now I'm going to stamp this for the center of my card. And I'm just stamping it here in the center. And it's got a nice light watermark kind of look.
That's cool.
So that when I put this in my card, it's like when you go to write over it, you can still write over it because you can see through it. But it just has everybody, when you see it in person, I think it looks a lot better than what you're seeing right now. But it does. It just kind of gives it that finished look where it all kind of goes together. So you have a watermark look on the inside. You've got your stamped envelope to match. And there is card number 2. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Look how fast those went together.
Yeah, awesome.
I like quick and easy and pretty, right?
I'm going to try to go fast, but I don't know if I can.
You're perfectly fine. All right, we're going to switch over to you now, right?
Okay.
All right, hold on a second.
Okay, so now it's my turn. Here's my first card that I'm going to do for you. It's got a little
pretty.
belly band. Thank you. It's really super easy. It's got a little belly band. You can see the little wreath detail embossed on the sides, and then just for you and a little piece of DSP inside. So it doesn't use a lot of the designer series paper, but it is very Christmassy. So, so very pretty. So let me show you what you're going to need. Now these are the pieces. All right, so I've got a piece of, I'm using, I almost said wild cherry. Why did I say that? This is cherry cobbler. I don't know, that was so weird. Cherry cobbler, it's a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5. You're going to need a piece of basic beige for the inside. You're going to need a small piece of basic beige that we're going to die cut that same label that Betsy used, this one here. And then you'll need a piece of gold to die cut. I should keep my dies out. This piece of greenery, but I'm cutting it out of the gold. And then you need a piece of the vellum. This is a new 12 by 12 vellum. This is a piece that's 1 inch by 9 inches. It's going to be our belly band base. And then the pieces of old olive that we're going to do embossing. And then the auxiliary pieces that we need, I'll kind of bring them in as we do them. So let's start out by just doing our scoring. So you're going to bring in your scoring, your Stampin' trimmer with a scoring blade, and get your cutter out of the way. And you're gonna, this is super easy. It's just 2. So it's just to give you an idea. Our card is 4.25 by 5.5. This is just because sometimes people learn in different ways. Okay, so half of 4.25 is 2 1/8. So we're gonna score at 2 1/8 from both sides on the long side. Okay, 2 1/8 from both sides. So when those go together, they form your 4.25, right? So they come together.
It's a great way of doing it. It's a great way to think about it.
It's just a way to, yeah, because sometimes you're like, well, I don't know, why would I score that? Well, let's just like think about it in a, you know, some of us are visual and some of us are audible and whatever. So then I am going to start by doing a little bit of embossing and die cutting. So I'm going to bring in these pieces here, and I've got them already embossed. And what I used was the wreath folder, just like this. Okay, and you could use anything that's going to give it texture. But if you're going to use the wreath, I'll tell you what I did. I like to use this little line right here. And I lined up my paper. You're going to be like, oh, how did you do it? I did mine by lining it up down here, and then I went almost to the edge of the wreath. And then,
that's a good idea.
So you have a gap here, because then they come together and they're kind of make a little bit of more of a swag than a wreath. Okay, so I've got those pre-embossed, and then I took my plaid folder and I embossed the vellum. Now vellum is the nice thing about vellum when you emboss is it kind of turns white. And with this, you can go all the way to the fold. There's a little hiccup there, but it doesn't matter because you're going to be covering it. That'll be in the front. And there's about a 1/2 inch here, which doesn't matter either because that's where your overlay is. So when you get that done, it looks like this. So I've done that in advance. Now I will admit that I actually ran that through twice. So mine is on the fragile side. Just run it through once. I don't know what I was doing, but it's a little frail. Then you're going to die cut your leaf. I've got my banner. I pre-die cut it, and I've got my gold leaf here. So I'll move those out of the way. And then I was telling you about the paper that you can, you cut the little swag and then you can cut out this little thing here that we fussy cut those. And my friend Linda's probably watching, and I told a little fib. I didn't do it. My friend Linda did it. I we were die cutting the other things, and then all of a sudden I see her at the table and she's cutting them all out with scissors. So I did not do it, but I did one just now while Betsy was doing it. I realized I needed 3 and I only had 2. So I did do one, but my dear friend Linda, my truly lovely friend.
Everybody needs a Linda. Everybody needs a Linda.
Yep, I have 2 great friends who help me out. So let's just go ahead and get started by gluing the old olive right to the front of our flaps. I just checked this glue too. It's going to be ornery for me. Whoops. You want to make sure that you're going the way you want it to go. Okay, so I'm going to glue that one there. And then I'm going to glue the other one going the opposite way so that they kind of come together, or at least the illusion of coming together. Then I'm going to do my stamping. And I'm using the words sending love and joy, and I'm going to stamp it in old olive. I got to make sure I'm going the right way.
I was going to say, make sure you're doing it the right way because I did not. Mine was upside down.
I don't think it's upside down, but.
Nah, that looks good.
Okay. Then I am going to bring in a couple of the other teeny tiny little berries, and I'm going to stamp. You're going to look at this. This is crazy. The outline. I'm going to stamp it black. It's super teeny tiny, but it just adds a little. It's cuteness.
It does.
And then I'm going to stamp the inside berry in cherry cobbler. I just chose to do the black because it just made it pop a little bit. I tried it in just cherry cobbler on cherry cobbler, and I chose this. So this is going to be, I'm going to try it in the center, but it's probably, actually, wow.
Good job.
I don't know how I did that. I can only do it once, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, no, I'm impressing myself. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you can't do anything on camera, and sometimes you even impress yourself.
That's funny. Oh no, I'm impressing myself.
This die is fun though. You can do a lot. You can manipulate this die. You can kind of fold these. I'm not going to do that because I don't want it to rip, but there are score marks where this can be popped up and this can be kind of bent. And so you can kind of change the way this banner looks. I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's kind of fun. So now I'm going to, let's stamp the inside, and I'm going to start with my little, where did I put my little strip of paper? I don't know, maybe I threw it in my lap.
I think I saw something fly when you were stamping at one point. Something did fall forward towards you.
Yep, it's on the floor. Let me grab it.
I did see something come towards you.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like the things that happens.
I think your sleeve caught it or something. No worries.
I'm using basic beige and just a little strip of the designer series paper as just a decorative element in there. And then, I actually didn't put, I'm going to stamp just for you, and I didn't put it on a block. So let me grab a block here. I'm going to grab the one that I used for sending love and joy. I'm going to switch that out just for you. And I'm stamping in cherry cobbler to match my wild cherry paper. Maybe we'll get one that's called Wild Cherry.
It would have to be a W and a W, wouldn't it? Like Cherry Color CC, wouldn't it have to be a W and a W?
Yeah. I don't know what it would be then.
Yeah.
And then we'll glue that inside. And then we can work on our outside and finish up our card. Hopefully this card will go fast, because I think the next one, even though it's not time consuming, it will end up being time consuming a little bit. But okay, so there's my gluing there. Now this is, you're going to wrap your I like to wrap my belly bands around, maybe contrary to the way you think. I like to wrap it so that the seam is in the front. Like I said, I kind of overextended my vellum a little bit, so it's cracking in the wrong places. Now, I would probably recommend maybe we'll just use a little bit of tear and tape here rather than the glue, since it's, I'm just going to put a little bit right here. It only overlaps about a half of an inch. Right? Because 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 is 8 1/2, and I made this 9. So it's a half inch each way. I'm going to use my scissors just to get that off, because this vellum is delicate. Like yours won't be, because you won't have run it through 2 times like I silly did.
Right.
Okay. So I like to wrap it so that the seam is in the front, because that's where I'm going to cover things. So let's just start with, I'm just looking at my card to see if where I used, oh, I know what I did. So I used my dimensionals, and I've got them here. I've got just the edges, right? We don't throw anything away.
No, use all of it.
Sorry, that's my dog coughing. Well, it's not my dog, it's my daughter's dog. She has a little heart murmur and a tracheal collapse, so she coughs. All right, so we're going to put sending, we're not going to put sending. We're going to put this down. I got to look at my card. It's been so while. I'm going to put this down. You can put it either way. I think either way. But you could lay it on there, and then I have the dimensionals on the back here. See, so that's going to, I don't need the greenery to be adhered to anything. I'm just doing it with
the dimensionals going to hold
dimensionals. It. Yeah, see, so now it's all one piece, all right? And then all I have to do is add these little pieces, and these I did with dimensionals, but let's just go ahead and get the dots. It's a little easier. So it does really go together fast, because you're just using, again, the designer series paper as your element. So I'll kind of play around with this a little bit. As long as I'm staying on the vellum or staying on the greenery, I think I'm okay. So I'm going to put these two. This one's on the vellum, and I'm going to overlap that one that's on the greenery. Probably need to move that just a smidge so I'm not covering up the L.
I'm not usually a red and green fan, but I really do like this card.
Yeah, you are. You know what? That's funny, because you are not a red and green fan. No,
I'm not a red and green fan.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But I do like this card a lot.
Oh, well, nice. All right, so I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to add some of the traditional sparkling sequins, and I'm just going to add 3, and I'm going to add them to my left side only, and I'm going to just do the 1, 2, 3 and go up in size, and end with the big one down here, just like that. So even though my sequins are flat, my card is not super flat, but there's no big gems that are really popping out at you. So there is my first card. Super cute.
Very pretty.
All right. So now my second card, get ready, get a pencil and paper. You're going to need it. This is a fun little pop-up card. I really have had fun with this. I'm going to tell you, once you get the basic cut down, you're going to want to play with this. The other thing I'm going to say, and I did not do this for my, what I'm going to demonstrate, but I wanted to share with you how great Stampin' Friends are. So I have a stamping friend in my community. Her name is Tammy. And I had showed this in one of our meetings, and Tammy went and made it her own, and I loved it. She had taken one designer series paper here, she changed this, and she changed this, and it was stunning. And I thought, why didn't I think of that? And I thought I would do it for you tonight, but I thought, you know what? I'd still like this one a lot, so I'm going
Yeah.
to show it just like this, but I'm going to tell you, don't stay in the hole. Like, step out of the box and change your paper around. You know, these four can be one, this can be one, and then this can be one. Super, super cute. So for this card, you're going to need a card base that is slightly different than a normal card base of 8.5 by 5.5. You're going to need a card base that is 8 by 5.5, 8 by 5.5. You're going to need some pieces for stamping and die cutting your holly, and then you're going to need a lot of pieces for your layering under your designer series paper, and that will go quickly because I've got it pre-cut for you. I'm not going to give you the measurements for that. It's in your tutorial, or you can pick up the tutorial in the PayHip store. So bring in your you got your pencil and paper ready? Bring in your Stampin' trimmer with a scoring blade. And first I'm going to score on the long side at 2 inches, and then I'm going to go up to 6 inches, which is on the new trimmer is right where the guard is. So I can just go right up to that and know it's 6 inches, okay? First is 2 scores, 2 inches and 6 inches. Now we're going to turn our paper 90 degrees, and on the short side, we're going to cut between those scores. And this is easy. It's going to sound hard, but it's not hard. Go put your paper at 1 1/4. Bring your cutting blade in. We're cutting now, and we're going to take the blade at 2 inches, which is right here. It's marked. You can't see it too much on the camera, but it's right on our guard. 2 inches. So we know we're cutting right from the score line, 2 inches, and we're going to take that up to 6 inches. Cutting between the 2 and 6 at 1 1/4. I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. And I'm going to go back to 1 1/4. And I'm going to go back to my 6-inch mark right here, and I'm going to cut down to the 2-inch, or vice versa. You can cut back up. All right, so I've made 2 cuts between the 2 scores. You're staying with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they call that a plunge cut, right?
A plunge cut?
I think so.
It could be.
Where you start at one point and you kind of move up to another point?
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah. So then you're going to score. So getting my cutting blade out, we're going to score. The rest are all scores. Those are the only 2 cuts. We're going to score at 3 inches. We're going to go to 3 inches, and we're going to score between the 2 plunge cuts. Oh, I like it. We're going to I do 3 inches, and we're going to start at 1 1/4. Remember, we're 1 1/4. So it all makes sense when you're doing it. 1 1/4, and score up to what is 4 1/4, because that's the mark there. And then we're going to go to 5 inches and do the same thing. And if I keep my blade up here right where I ended, I can just come back down to 1 1/4. I like to run it a couple times just because. So we've got our scores at 3 inches and 5 inches between our plunge cuts. Then we're going to go to half of the card. Remember, it's only 8 inches, so half of it's 4 inches. And we're going to score up to the plunge cut and down to the plunge cut. So we're scoring our card in half, but we're going to score it just that 1 1/4. So I'm going to score up to 1 1/4. Now, if it's easier for you, you could turn it around and go to 4 inches and do the same thing, go up to 1 1/4, or you could just go up and down. It's up to you, but I wanted
So you
to show you.
definitely have to do those plunge cuts first before you finish scoring.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with this. So now we can go ahead and decorate. So I've already pre-cut. Let me bring in my designer series paper. These are all going to be layered. And like I said, you can change it around. So you're going to have to watch me because I did not pre-do this for you. Hopefully I cut right, but I'm going to do it as fast as I can. Look at that. All right, so now we can see how it's folded. These are going to
Very
come
pretty.
forward. These are going to go, hold on. Well, let me just get them scored. Takes a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, so now the way this can go is a lot of different ways, okay? This, if it's closed in your, I'm still going to do the center, but if it's closed, you can have them both going the same way. You can have them go this way. It doesn't really matter because once your recipient opens it, it's going to stand just like this. So you can see from the top how it's going to stand. So now we're going to decorate our center. And I've got a piece of basic beige and a piece of mossy meadow. And then I pre-die cut out of this little piece here, you're going to pre-die cut your holly leaves out of the cherry cobbler. I've got 3 berries. And again, I could have used the sparkle sequence. I think would have been, this one's going to, I'm not using my take your pick tool. I'm just licking my finger. You guys aren't getting this card. Don't worry about it. It's good. I can lick. And then I also stamped with Versamark and used the wow powder in gold and heat embossed it, and then I fussy cut around it. It was really, really quick and easy to do that. And then I've got dimensionals, just strips of dimensionals on the back. So now it's just laying down your center. What I want to say to you, though, is keep in mind that when you are decorating your card, whatever way, whatever design you choose to do, because I know this can carry you way past Christmas. It doesn't have to just be for Christmas. You want to make sure that anything can come out this way. It doesn't matter because when it's folded, you can't go up or down. You got to keep it within the parameters of up and down, but you can go sideways. Okay, does that make sense? So you can go, so you're going to go ahead and you can glue down the holly, all right? And I'm going to go off my paper just like that. All right, then you can add your berries. And I just like to dot my glue in 3 little places. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool, which I had right here a second ago. I'm just going to use my wet finger. I don't know what I did with that. Someone was trying to come in here. If you heard my squeaky door. Okay, so there I've got my holly and my berries. Now, all I'm going to do is put my Merry Christmas over it, and I'm going to let it hang off a little bit. I'm just going to hang it. You know, I want to establish my berries so you can see them, but I'm kind of going on a little diagonal and making it go across. I can go, well, like that, maybe a little bit. All right, so if that's the case, I've got a little extra here. I'm going to want to snip that off. I'm not going to want to have that. I don't want that to adhere to my card, and that's easy. That's a really easy fix. I just don't want you to think like, oh, well, wait a minute. I can't fix that. You can easily fix that. So now you have the 3 berries, one's hidden a little bit, and then you can lay down your center. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, that's fine and dandy, but where do I say sign my name to my Christmas card? Well, we're going to do that on the back. So here's the front. Super cute. Now, if you had your card base any other color that was dark, you would probably have to layer a little light layer. But you can use the back and you can stamp. And I'm going to stamp something super simple. I'm kind of taking something out of my friend Betsy's book. And I'm going to stamp this little flower. See if my pad's as juicy as hers. No, mine's not juicy at all. I'm going to keep that out, though. I'm going to use that for the words. And a little bit of this greenery and mossy meadow. This one's not juicy either. I'm just going to stamp
Pretty.
a little bit of leaves, and then I'm going to stamp the words to you. And try to catch an edge where there might be some ink. So it says Merry Christmas to you, and then I would sign my name. So then I have a place on the back that I've signed. Okay, so there is my card. And now I did not add any, I'm just like you, I did not add any of the glittery sequins to this card because I felt like it was busy enough. If I was going to add them, I could have always made them be the berries, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. So that is my second card. Here's my.
Good job. Very nice.
Thank you, Peanut, for adding that little medley.
Nice job. Excellent. Nice job. Hey, I think we did a good job this month.
I think we kept it under an hour. Okay, goodbye. No.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Usually
no, it doesn't happen. So Merry Christmas to you. So let's talk a little bit. We always talk at the end about what is happening the next month, which would be December. Okay, well, it is December. If you're watching this in January, we're sorry, but you're probably not because it's Christmas. But if
we're a little behind.
Yeah. So what are we doing? So we have decided to we are refreshing, right, Betsy? We're refreshing and renewing, and we're taking the month of December off to enjoy the holidays with our family, and we are regrouping and just going forward. We just got back from Backstage, which is our leadership conference. We learned so much, and we are putting our heads together because one, we know we want to be together. That's a given. So don't worry, we're not going to go away. Sorry. We want to be together, but we want to do something that is of value to you. So stay tuned in 2026. Oh my goodness, 2026. And we're going to be back with better. We are still in cahoots. That's what it is. We're in cahoots.
Well, for anybody that's new to this or you're not familiar with what we've been doing, we actually started this when COVID hit. In March of 2020, we came home with what was called Create at Home. And it was a way for everybody to be able to create at home. And we sent class packets, and it was always concentrating on a bundle. And so that's how it kind of started. And then after so many years, we thought, okay, let's reevaluate. Let's take a look. Let's see what's working, what's not. And we changed it up, and we changed the name, and we became Stamp It Your Way. And it's been Stamp It Your Way ever since. And now it's kind of like, okay, let's reevaluate again. And you have to kind of keep it fresh and new and keep you excited and keep us excited. And it's always good to kind of sit back and reevaluate what works and what doesn't, right?
Oh, yeah. I think that's super important because we don't want to get stale, and you don't want us to get stale. And I think that it's time to just look at things again and regroup and see what we can come up with that's better and stays with all the things that Stampin' Up! Is doing in our businesses too. So nothing bad, all good. Just watch. We'll be advertising. I don't know how things are going to go. As it'll be out there January 1st. We don't know, but
we will figure it out.
We will figure it out, and we will let you know. But you may hear from us. We may come to like a couple final decisions and need some feedback from you. So stay tuned. If we send out a poll, please answer it. Because we want to do what's valuable to you, don't we, Betsy?
Yes.
It's important.
Oh my goodness. And the support we've gotten for this through Create at Home, through Stamp It Your Way, the support that we continue to get is just amazing, because we like stamping and like being together, but we need you too, right? We need you to be watching, and we need you to be participating, and we're so grateful for those that have been signing up for the kits on a month-to-month basis, whether it be subscription or just on the ones that they like, or the people that are buying the tutorials after the fact. We're extremely grateful, and we can't wait to see what we all kind of come up with moving forward.
Yeah, just for example, like Stamp It Your Way kind of came from the idea that it was important for us to, we wanted to show you new product, of course, but we also excuse me, it's very important to us that you were using what you had. I mean, we know,
Right.
we're crafters. We know what's in your
Yeah.
craft room. You've got stuff. And so we want to
Right.
make sure that we didn't just pigeonhole things into one area. So that's what we look at. We try to look at things like, what can we do to help you as a general crafter use what you have, or keep things fresh. So that's where we're at now. We just wanted to share that with you and let you know that going forward, we hope we have something that's even better, and you'll enjoy it just as much as you've enjoyed Create at Home and Stamp It Your Way.
Absolutely. And if you have any, suggestions or thoughts, or, feel free to throw that in the comments.
Leave in the
Make sure you
comments. We want to hear
subscribe.
it. Yeah.
So that when we do come back in 2026, you are aware of when we're coming back and what's going on. So subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. We're always open to suggestions and ideas, and we want to keep doing what we're doing because we love what we do, and we love sharing with you and the creation and the inspiration. It's all good. It's all good.
Definitely
It's all
good.
good
So
things.
you guys,
Yes.
we'll just say this, like, if you are watching it before Christmas, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we just hope that you'll keep crafting, and that you've enjoyed crafting during the holidays, because I think that's like one of the most times, like I hear from a lot of friends, like, I don't do a lot, but I do want to make my own Christmas card. So we hope that you stay crafty, and yeah, we're here.
That's one of
We're
the
here.
first things I fell in love with. As soon as the first time I saw a Stampin' Up! Catalog, that was when I thought, I want to make my own Christmas cards. That was the
Yeah,
first thing I wanted to do. Yep.
yeah.
It's
Those are
amazing how it grows
definitely
from there.
those are definitely my most popular classes now. I start in July and we go through November, and they're
Yep.
always full, and we have a great time. And when we're all done, we've got a big stack of Christmas cards, and we're ready to
Ready
go.
to go.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I know that, with this new spring catalog, there's some really cute Valentine's,
oh,
Easter is coming. There's Valentine's, there's Easter sets that are coming that are super cute. There's a nice little set that is with like a Ferris wheel and kind of like that boardwalky kind of look. So there's a lot of really good stuff coming. I can't wait to play with.
yeah, and scrapbookers, stay tuned, because
Mhm.
scrapbooking is really, they've really stepped things up. And who knows, that, I mean, we haven't talked about it, but that could be part of what we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
if you're a scrapbooker, right now, man, put a comment in and go, that's what we want, scrapbooking. And
yeah,
if you're a card maker only, you could put it in there. We want to know, like, who's
yeah.
watching, and are you going to be like, no, I just want to make cards. So,
What
or,
parts
hey,
do
I
you
just
love?
want to make boxes. I don't know. Just, we want to know.
I would
Lexi's
be
like, "Please
against the
don't do
all
that."
box. I would be against the all box thing
She'd
because
be
I
like,
have
"Please don't do that.
terrible
Don't
measure.
do 3D items only." I would be like, "Hey, I'm in.
She's
I
in.
love that."
Yeah, I would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
We can
Well, not
figure it
all
out.
boxes. Maybe one. One out of four each month.
Yes. I
We'll
used your Halloween box in class the other day, and
I
everybody just
know.
oohed and awed over that Halloween box
You
and how
so
easy it was to
easy.
put that Halloween box together. It was
So
and
easy.
we made a Christmas box out of it. So it was really, love how you are so talented. I am so lucky that that we do this together. So,
I say the same thing. My goodness, I
yeah.
learn something from you every week. So hopefully we're teaching others, and that's what we love to do. So let's just sign off now, now that we've
Yeah,
flattered each other.
exactly. All right, everybody, have a wonderful holiday, and we will see you in 2026.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.